While the most provocative character in its nameplate is a capital E, we're here to see how Ford's first fully electric SUV, the Mustang Mach-E, works as practical day-to-day transportation.
In this video, we're going to review the electric Mustang's SUV/coupe exterior styling, explore its 5-passenger interior, experience its day-to-day driving capabilities, and in the end, lay out all of its pros and cons. Before we jump into the first ever electric Mustang, just a reminder to hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe to our channel to make sure you get all the latest videos from kbb.ca. Available in rear-wheel drive and all-wheel drive versions, the Mustang Mach-E is Ford's answer to the likes of Tesla, General Motors, Volkswagen, and other manufacturers that have already launched long-range all-electric vehicles. Pricing starts at just over $50,000 for the rear-wheel drive models and an estimated 370 kilometers of driving range. Our loaded tester rang in at just over $70,000, which included the optional $7,000 extended range battery that boosted the projected driving range to just over 430 kilometers. With a base price north of $45,000, the electric Mustang doesn't qualify for any Canadian federal government EV rebates, but does get provincial rebates in British Columbia and Quebec, where owners can receive $3,000 and $8,000 respectively. Whatever Mach-E interests you, know that Ford's designers went out of their way to make it look like a Mustang.
Now, the Mach-E started out as a generic-looking SUV, but once the decision was made to make it a Mustang, a lot of those details show up in the exterior design. For example, this black panel actually illustrates how high the roof is to give rear passengers some extra headspace, but this panel suggests a Mustang coupe type of styling. Now, being an electric vehicle, the Mach-E has these battery packs all underneath, which raises the height of the vehicle. But to give it a more low-slung look, Ford designers have extended the door quite far along the bottom, along the rocker panel, once again to fool your eye to think that this is not an SUV. While the minimalist in me really appreciates this no door handle look across the sheet metal, the Canadian in me gets a little nervous about this sleek door handle design. It might get a little fussy on a Canadian morning in February or January where you've got this packed with ice or snow. While it's styled more like a sporty hatchback or wagon than a squared off SUV, the Mach-E still offers plenty of rear cargo space.
The Mustang Mach-E gives you over 800 liters of cargo space behind the rear seats, and that space more than doubles with the rear seats folded down. The Mach-E is larger than one might think. The 5-passenger SUV rides on a wheelbase that's longer than a Ford Escape compact SUV, and yet it's shorter overall. That translates into a roomy interior.
Since 1964, Mustangs have had a dual cowl cockpit design, which has deliberately separated the driver from the passenger. But the Mach-E is all new, it's completely different. It has a wide horizontal design, big open area here that actually brings the passenger and the driver together. Okay. For the first time ever, a grown adult is in the back of the Mustang, not asking, are we there yet? I've got lots of room, lots of headroom, leg room, knee room, foot space. I've got the panoramic roof, which makes it even feel more spacious in here. The only issue I have really is that the coupe-like styling kind of digs into the side here from a visual standpoint. Still gives you lots of room, but you might feel a little claustrophobic back here. Other than that, lots of room in the back of this Mach-E.
The Mach-E offers up to 115 kilowatt per hour DC fast charging on the base models, and up to 150 kilowatt per hour charging on the higher trims. Ford says that while charging at home on the 240 volt or level 2 charger, owners can expect to gain 35 to 50 kilometers of driving range per hour depending on the setup. The standard rear-wheel drive Mach-E uses one electric motor, delivering 266 horsepower and 317 pound-feet of torque. Adding the all-wheel drive option brings a second, smaller electric motor mounted between the front wheels. delivering a total output of 428 pound-feet of torque. Extended range models, like our Tester, are tuned for increased power too. Rear drive models have 290 horsepower, and all-wheel drive delivers 346 horsepower and 428 pound-feet of torque.
Around town, tapping into that power is actually pretty fun. And it allows the Mach to pass other vehicles really easily. Unlike vehicles that have an engine up front, the Mach is actually quite neutral in cornering, and its quick steering allows you to place it very accurately when you are going through those corners. Overall, even with the stiff suspension, the Mach-E's ride is generally smooth. Potholes are heard more than felt, but there is this kind of weird oscillation at higher speeds, especially on 400 highways, where it feels like the suspension is trying to deal with the extra weight of the batteries, and you get this kind of floating rhythm that you wouldn't normally get in a regular internal combustion engine vehicle. And due to the battery pack laying low and flat in the vehicle, corners can be taken at quite high speeds in the Mach-E, and at no time do you feel that it's not firmly planted to the asphalt. So what are our final thoughts on the Ford Mustang Mach-E? Well, we really like its real-world electric driving range, its combination of sporty handling and quick acceleration, and the fact that it blends SUV practicality with Mustang styling. If we had any complaints at all, it's the fact that Ford's kind of new to the EV game. Some customers may find the ride a little stiff, and those fussy door handles may get a little frustrating on a cold Canadian winter morning.
If you want to find out more details about Ford's first ever electric Mustang and get the information and expertise you need to help you with your next new vehicle purchase, check out more at kbb.ca.